Now and then I lose my way, using words to try to say what I feel. When the loving's real, when the love is real. Oh! Glad to be here alone with a lover unlike no other. Sad to see a new horizon slowly coming into view. Well, I wanna be living for the love of you. That's how I feel when I'm fresh up off an episode of BMF. That old school, your mama's R&B. That's your mama's R&B right there if you came up in the 90s. Some old Isley brothers. Or Isley, Jasper Isley. What up, though? Back again. One more again. Here to talk about that good BMF Black Mafia Family series. Season 3, Episode 4, entitled The Return of the Prodigal Son. First of all, I am your humble and most honorable host, Real. And this episode is brought to you by that good green apple crown. That Crown Royal and Coke. Diet Coke, because I'm old. You know what I'm saying? Old school. Let's just get right down to brass tacks. So we start off with Meech and Loco taking tokes of that endo smoke. That good La Raza plays in the background. Are you high yet? Y'all know nothing about that Mr. Grimm. Loco in that joint toking and choking. Javier come in to say he trying to hire Cena's pilot, but this mofo too proper. Up here saying shit like please and thank you very much. Enunciated the ending of all his goddamn words. Too clean for a job like this. This motherfucker might be the feds. Meech like, let me speak to him. When the pilot told Meech he was good with getting his money after the job, Meech knew he was good. Loco like, see, that's why we fuck with Meech. Meech tells him that first shipment, T gon' get that. Loco like, nah, son, I don't think so. I don't like T's ass. That's all you, player. Meech understands, he accommodates the ask. Meech piece up out of there. Go back to his new crib. Angel still up in there in a thong and a sweatshirt. His sweatshirt. He like, you can stay as long as you want. You can keep dancing too. But you ain't gotta be hustling cats no more. He like, I'm going away for a little while, but I'll be back. You're welcome to stay. She like, well, I guess I better give you some of this ass then. You know, give you a little something to miss. Goes to do it how she used to doing it. You know, goes down to suck him off. That's how she get down. He pulls her up on some I'm gonna treat you like a lady type shit. But I will be taking some of that pie to go. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper and fly. So break me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. I don't know why I feel like singing today, but I feel like singing today. Y'all don't know nothing about that old domino, that old 90s music. Anyway, Meech gets his snack on, eventually heads back to the D. Heads over to T's restaurant. They get some grub and some spades in. Everybody's happy and surprised to see Meech. Meech tells T the shipment coming in tomorrow and that he, Meech, is going to go and get it himself, per Loco's requirements. Now, T ain't feeling him on this at all. 250 keys, and Meech ain't even got no license. Meech tell him it is what it is. Meanwhile, Bryant catches up with Jen in her family restaurant. She ain't really feeling Bryant right now. She like, I don't know what you was doing with the 50 boys a little bit ago at the shootout, but I know it can't be above board. He like, but I saved your ass though. She don't give a damn. He like, well, if you talking that talk, if I go down, you go down. Brings up some of their past dealings. He like, whatever it is you think I'm doing, just know it's for my son. And I'm going to do anything for my son. Just know that. He peace up out of there. She eventually catches up with Amberson back at the job. They find out a little detail on the ambulance they ran up on. You know, where the shootout occurred, Henrietta shipment. Found that the ambulance was torched, but was able to gather some detail on it, like the VIN number and the guy that purchased it recently from an auction. They find and go visit the cat that made the purchase. They go knock on his door. He like, y'all got the wrong house. Tried to piece up out of there. Amberson turned into goddamn Wonder Woman, leaped over homie's couch in a single bound, and apprehended his ass with a quickness. Speaking of making leaps and bounds, Markesha jumping through hoops, trying to clear her name of this whole CPS deal and help T make this thing go away. She and T up in a little gambling spot. There's a judge in there that Markesha knows, thinking he can make this thing go away. She pushing up on him, you know, asking for that favor. Appears she knows him from her connection with Boom. The judge like, Boom's now a convicted drug dealer. Don't know what you pushing up on me for, but I need friends in high places, not low. She like, this ain't for Boom. It's for a friend of mine. Good dude. Needs a little help with CPS. T come over and start to assist with the ask. All of a sudden, Henrietta come out of nowhere. Bust up the little party. Tells the judge T ain't the kind of man he wants to be associated with. On that note, the judge exits stage left, feeling like this is a good time to get out of whatever shit Markesha was asking for. Henrietta pushing up on Markesha. She like, what your cougarish doing with Boy Wonder over here? You know he young money. He still wet the bed. Markesha wasn't feeling Henrietta, obviously. Ain't amused by her flattery, nor her insults on T. Henrietta tells T she knows it was him who with her shipment. Also tells him If she wasn't John Wick and they wasn't up in the Continental right now, based on them house rules, she'd have slit his bitch ass throat. Right here, right now. On the other side of town, Lucille come in from work. Charles up in his room. Charles got the wife beater popping, doing a little arm work. You know, a little toning up his arms, a little curl work. Got about 15 to 30 pounds on that dumbbell, working out. Got that good Anita Baker and the Winans playing in the background. Ain't no need to worry what the night is gonna bring, 'cause it'll be all over in the morning. Hot damn. Let the church say amen. Lucille was standing in that doorway looking at Charles like he was a Popeye's chicken sandwich. She might have been at Wendy's all day, but she looked like she wanted Popeyes when she walked up in that doorway. Mouth just watering. I swear I saw some drool out. Charles knew it too. He got all smooth with it. He like, I fixed you a plate. It's down there whenever you ready to eat it. She like, really? 'Cause that plate looked like it's right here. It's a hot plate too. Make no mistake, Lucille was a little hot and bothered. Panties was in a bunch. She walked out of that joint fanning her burning flames of desire and passion that longed to be put out. She had to fan herself. Couldn't stand the heat, so she pieced up out the kitchen. Bryant makes his way down to see his new boss, Henrietta. She throwing darts at her new arch enemy T's face. Tells him Meech is back in town. They figure something must be a brewing if he back. You know, like a shipment or something big. Henrietta tells Bryant she wants him to find out what it is, so her and her team can ambush the drop, kill everybody in sight, function as the only game in town for them bricks, and earn her father's respect. Not much to ask. Hell of a win for her. Tells Bryant not to f it up, 'cause she'd hate to pull Lil Kevin's protection up in Juvie. Meanwhile, Meech get up to the airport where them bricks was coming in. Meech looking at the pilot like, that's a big plane. He like, yeah, that's what you need for 2,500 bricks. Goddamn! Meech looked up in that plane. It was wall to wall, foiled up. Shit looked like the plane was made out of cocaine brick stacks. He like, we ain't asked for 2,500. Was only supposed to be 250. Called T up. Told him they got 10 times what they was expecting. Hollered at T like he was Warren G. Told T it was all hands on deck. Told him he needed to be handy with them wheels, earn his keep. Regulators, mount up. Said he needed some cats to meet up and take some of that weight off his plate. And that he already got folks coming up from the ATL. Need to get some of his team to get in the car and make it up to see him. They shit is all in flux. Meech goes out from the airport hangar, finds a cat nearby with a van, gives him some cash to use his van overnight. Now Bryant is watching the whole time. He on that surveillance, on his JOB. Meech get back to the airplane, start loading up. T tell the crew what the deal is. We gotta sell double the product, half the price. Shit is all fucked up. Not a good time, not enough time to chop it up about what's what, but everybody in sync about what needs to be done. And that's all that matters. Meech got the bricks piled up in the van. Pilot riding with Meech. He need a ride back to the hotel. He gas up and fly back in 24 hours. So they ain't got a lot of time. At some point during the ride, the pilot tells Meech he got to take a shit. They stop at a local diner. Pilot goes in. Meech waits outside. While he waiting, the cops pull up. To go get some pie or some coffee or whatever they do. Shortly after, so does Bryant. He pull up. Now Bryant makes his presence known to Meech, but does not get out of his car. Just sits and watches. At some point, the pilot goes over to the cops while he's inside the diner. Shit is not looking good at all. Pilot comes back out, gets in Meech's van. Cops also come out, but goes over to Bryant's car, get to jacking him up. Apparently, the pilot saw Bryant tailing him, took the opportunity to tell the cops about it, told the cops he thought he was about to be robbed. They go over to Bryant's car, get to him and his ass up. Found a gun in his front seat and everything. Bryant was f***ed up in the game. Meech and the pilot piece up out of there, make it back to the crew, get to work. Got on that grind, that strong movement. Get to collecting that money, get to distributing them bricks, and within 24 hours, sold the 2,500 bricks and had that money for the pilot to take back to Loco. Tremendous feat. If I ain't a hustler, what you call that? This is before rap. This is all fact. I never change. Got on that Jay-Z. That's why Meech the boss. And BMF is BMF. If you don't know, now you know. Bryant, on the other hand, cannot be found by Henrietta and her crew. And they reaching out to his ass too. She like, in the end, he a cop. Just like my pops. I knew I couldn't trust his ass. She like, I warned him not to f with me. Look like Lil Kevin about to meet some rough riders. Look like that protection about to be revoked. Stop, drop, shut him down, open up shop. Oh, yo, that's how rough riders roll. Look like shit might get a little rough for Kevin. At least for a minute with that protection game off. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Nikki up in her spot, home at the crib playing Mortal Kombat with Lil Player Breeze. A couple more friends. Lil Player Breeze like, you don't know how to play. You lose in every game. Let me show you how to handle the joystick. Now, not in a nasty type way, but in that little handsy type way, little hands-on action. Lucille come in the door and bust the whole party up. Tell them I know y'all gotta be home before them street lights come on. And if you leave now, you might make it. It was like 3 in the afternoon. She like, go on, get. Tells Nikki she can't be having boys up in the spot when she ain't home. They go back and forth. Ends with Lucille telling her to fix that face. Cause them slight eye rolls gonna get you an introduction to the 5 fingers. Lucille and Charles catch up later. Lucille putting notes up on the wall. Talking about unless you got a bed up in this house, you can't go upstairs. Charles like, who the hell is this for? She tells him how Nikki had little boys over at the house today. Charles like, you talking about Breeze? I met little player. He cool. Quiet cat. She like, yeah, so was you. Look where we at now. He like, speaking of the past, I saw that check from the good doctor. How long y'all been catching up? Just looking for a little upfrontness between us. I ain't trying to start no mess. She tells him. He like, it's kind of funny how this cat who been eyeing you since day one now appears at a time like this. She like, you being a little ridiculous, Charles. Peace out. On the other side of town, Markesha back on her grind again, pushing up on the same judge she tried to push up on before. This time she hit him with some blackmail. She ain't pulled no punches. Slid him a letter with the evidence of how he took bribes from drug dealers. Told him she know it's election year, know his bid would surely be over if his opponents had that information. Said she made copies, so don't f*** around. She catch up with T later, lets him know that the CPS thing about to be a non-issue, and that she spoke to the judge. And with a reasonable donation, this could be all behind him. Said he might have to put a campaign poster or 2 up in the restaurant, but it's a done deal. Now they were supposed to be going out to eat, but Nikki done prepared a meal at the house. So he like, we can't go out to eat. But I will take some of that pie to go. The brothers Flenory is getting that pie to go this episode. It's like a theme or something. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper and fly. So break me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. Y'all know nothing about that domino. Took him a slice of that pie and pieced up out of there. Now at dinner, at the Flenory household, Meech up in there, T up in there, LaWanda, the whole crew. It's a family affair for sure. T tells the family the CPS issue is resolved. Nikki says a grown-ass little prayer, and the family acknowledges the grownness of said prayer. She like, that's right, 'cause I am grown. Feeling like the little Mortal Kombat incident with her friends at the house was the last straw, Nikki hit him with that usher. This is my confession. Hit him with that truth, her truth. Released the Kraken on all of them. All before a green bean had been ingested or a mashed potato had been mashed up on a fork. She let him have it. She like, I'm the only good one up in here, and y'all worried about me? She like, let's see. So, my big brothers are D-boys. My first boyfriend got stabbed to death in front of me. My mom and pop is getting a divorce because my pops couldn't keep his thing in his pants. Let's see, what else? My brother T was sleeping with an old Jezebel. What she know about a Jezebel? My brother T was sleeping with an old Jezebel while LaWanda up here about to have his second baby. Oh yeah, and Pops, you know Mama been making googly eyes at the good doctor, Dr. Feelgood. Just let everybody out. And not one of them could dispute her facts. Lucille let out a, how dare you? But that was about all anyone said. The baby just let it out. She like, I ain't a baby no more. Somebody give Nicole a damn hug up in that piece. Meech go upstairs and talk to her. You know, he was the least impacted by the rant. They have a good catch up. Seems like they usually have a good catch up. Meanwhile, Lucille has been making her way over to lay some eyes on Dr. Feelgood for some time now. Despite being able to control her hot flashes at home with Charles. So the first time was after the kids in the house incident. She'd go over to see Dr. Maurice at his office, tells him Nikki having boys over now, and that she's not sure how to handle things. She wants a professional opinion. What'd he do? Hit Lucille with a few pamphlets. Some sponge highlights, how to have safe sex, you know, some high-level stuff. They get to talking, the doctor asking her about Charles, like he give a shit. She up in there looking like she's struggling with either being cordial or just letting it all hang out like a brick house on the office desk. 'Cause she's a brick house. She peace up out of there. Goes to see him a second time. You know, this time after Nikki released the cracking on him at dinner. Like after it happened, she went immediately to see the doctor. You know, since the cat was out the bag, there wasn't no future in her front. Went back to confront her feelings. Office hours were a little later this time. You know, she hit his spot immediately after that dinner went bad. Tells him the truth about her and Charles, that they in the middle of a divorce. Said they separated, though they really not. I mean, they still up at the same dinner table at night, still walk through the same doors at night. Tells him maybe the good Lord is opening up one door as another door is closing. Doctor sees his opportunity to strike. He start coming on super strong. They get to rolling on a river like Ike and Tina up in that office. Get to flipping each other around up against the wall. Heavy kissing. Heavy touching. It's going on up and through that piece. Don't know how she did it, but Lucille escaped out that joint with just a little hair muss, some stolen kisses, and a little tussling. Pieced up out of there with a little something with her. Meech, T, and Nikki back at the crib playing some Mortal Kombat. Lucille come in looking guilty of something. They not sure what. They like, Mama, you cool? She like, yeah, you know. She don't even know what the hell going on. Looking like she floated in from the good doctors. Like she took that ride home and she's still flustered. She still ain't got it together when she came in the door. Come upstairs, Charles half naked from a shower or a proper oil down. I don't know what Charles was on. They share a couple words. Charles asks where she went off to, but he keeps it civil, you know. She says she just had to clear her head for a minute. He tells her good night. Meanwhile, downstairs, they still playing the game. Roland is also there with him. Roland tells him he wants out of the game on account of him having a kid and all. They don't have no problem with that. They like, you live across the street. We know where you at. Just then Meech get a call from silly ass Stacks. I knew his ass was silly. Helen Keller could have seen Stacks' ass wasn't right. He phoned Meech up, tell him he want back on the team. Apologizes for being an ass. Says he was a little off. Meech lets him back in. Said, I ain't doing it for you, I'm doing it for Ty's sake. He thanks Meech, they hang up. Glock sitting in the car with his ass. I knew his ass wasn't shit. Turns out Stacks planned to help Glock take out Meech. And in turn, Glock gonna help him take out Remy. Glock and his boys see Stacks for the dumb ass that he is.